To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. Free firewood. I just sat down, was getting ready to eat supper this evening, and my app, I have an app that says it's free stuff. This free stuff app monitors things like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. It sends out non-stop notifications, and it's almost mind-numbing. Free metal, and you look at the picture and it's just junk. And basically what it is, it's an app for people to come and get your trash. But occasionally, somebody will say free firewood. Well, I can't remember when the last time it was, but it was not that long ago. 2 or 3 days ago, maybe 5 days ago, I came across free firewood, and it was a hickory tree in somebody's backyard. Easy to get to. The road was right next to the hill. The tree was on a hill, and so all the logs rolled down right to the truck. Yesterday, I got one that said free firewood, and I was outside digging the root cellar, the storm cellar. I was an hour late after the notification came through. I checked an hour after it came in, and it had already been claimed, and I was so disappointed. That stuff was already cut up, split. It was stacked up against the house. It was probably dry. Like I said, I was sitting down to get ready to eat supper. My daily video had posted, so I was monitoring the results of that and checking the comments. And this free stuff app popped up, free firewood. He says, this is all I have left. And so I messaged him, and that's the hardest part about this free stuff, is you message somebody and they wait an hour or two, and by the time you get involved, they've already given it away to somebody. Now the problem is my phone and my computer don't match up. I don't have Facebook on my phone. I've got it on my computer. So I have to email my messages from the free stuff over to my computer so I can open it. I get it over there, I message the guy, and I don't know, 15, 20 minutes later, he says, first come, first serve. Well, I'm thinking, well, by the time I get down there, it's already gonna be gone. I said, great, thanks. I'll be there in a couple hours. I was talking to Carolyn, she said, I saw this a couple weeks ago. And I said, does it look like the same picture? And she said, no, it looks like it's different. And some of it's dry. This sycamore, there's sycamore over here. Now, sycamore is really hard to split, but there's a ton of it. From experience, I know it burns really well in our stove, and I can tell this stuff is dry. It's like paper. So Carolyn's been collecting that up. We'll have to split that on the splitter, the manual log splitter, the stuff that I can't split. With the maul, because the maul just bounces off sycamore. Then I got into this, I think it's hickory. It sure does seem like hickory. And we got a lot of hickory right here. It just seems like hickory. It's not quite wet, so it might have been sitting here for a couple months, but I think that's hickory. Now hickory is the highest BTU you can get. And then there's this other stuff, I have no idea what this is, but that stuff splits really easy. So we got a nice little spread of firewood. Now, I think we're going to try to come back in the morning. We'll get this unloaded this evening. We won't even stack or anything. We'll just dump it off. I don't know if Carolyn will come back, but I'll definitely come back and try to get some more. We're only here, 15, 20, maybe a half hour, and we got a full truckload. Now, I know this truckload with mixed lumber like this, minus the hickory. Hickory is really expensive. I can get a truckload of this down the road from me for 70 bucks. If I wanted to get the hickory, it'd be almost $100 for my little 6-foot bed pickup truck. This holds about 1/3 of a cord, so not much, $70. So 15, 20 minutes to come down here and get it. Now, of course, I got to split it, but I can do that in my leisure time. So, I mean, this stuff is growing on trees, literally. And all you have to do is go and get it. You got to climb the tree to pick the leaf that has the dollar on it. This is priceless, and people just give it away. And it just shocks me how many people pass this up. They'll wait until the middle of winter, because you can't find this stuff in winter. It's just not available. But as spring and summer starts to roll around, people are giving this stuff away. What happens is, I don't know about this place, this looks like a construction facility. It looks like they're building roads and different things. So maybe a development is coming through. But most of the time during the summer, people move, or they just don't want it in their yard for the summer. They're looking for you know, a nice patio to sit on in the summertime. So they just give it away. And we saw that the first, oh man, what was that, in March? Somebody just gave an entire truckload. The truck was way overloaded of dried, well, it wasn't dry, but it was getting where it was dry. Firewood already split. Like yesterday, that came across. It was already split, sitting up, stacked. All right, so we got back home and got the truck unloaded, and we bought ourselves a little bit of ice cream, so I'm getting ready to go in there and eat some ice cream. We separated the sycamore from everything else. I can split everything else pretty easy, but I'm not too sure about the sycamore. Now, I have split a couple pieces, and it does pretty solid, but it's just so light. It's just incredible how light this stuff is. It really does show me that, see, that sounds so hollow and dry. So I measured one piece that I split, and it was at 22%. Now, in order to burn wood in the wood stove, it needs to be 20%. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll split this with the log splitter, or if I can split it with them all, that's fine. I'll test each piece. And if it's at 20% or 25% or whatever, I'll put it over in the pile that I'm going to burn next year. And if it's any higher than that, then I'll put it in these other piles that need another year to dry. This will be here almost 2 years. That's hickory, that's oak, and that should be ready to burn by November, October, November. October, well, this up here, that's walnut, that's ready to burn now. And then up here at the very top, that's gonna be close, we'll see. Tomorrow I'm gonna go get another truckload. I'm gonna just try to get as much as I can. It's only 20 miles away, so a 40-mile round trip. So I figure $70 minus the $5 in gas, you know, that's $65 in cash per truckload that we're getting. You just can't beat that. And I don't have to use a chainsaw. That's the biggest deal. I mean, it'd be nice if it was split, but like this up here, this was split for us. We already got that split. You know, that was on some guy's back porch I was telling you earlier. Even if it's not split, I mean, not using the chainsaw, you know, that saves the wear and tear on the chainsaw. It saves on gas, oil, all that other stuff. It's self-sustaining. Carolyn and I were talking about this on the way home. Everything we do, self-sustaining, self-reliant. You know, raising our chickens, getting eggs out of it, that's self-reliant. Carolyn's figuring out how to make mush food. You know, you just pick up a bag of birdseed or a bag of nothingness and mix it together, and they absolutely love to eat that stuff. That's why I'm building the storm shelter, or whatever you want to call it. We're calling it the storm shelter, the root cellar, so we can preserve our own foods. This kind of brings me back to yesterday's video. See how the water's starting to accumulate here, and I got it to where it's draining downhill. So that's going to be my French drain. That'll just come on down to here. So that's the nice thing about doing a little bit at a time, is I can wait for the water to fill back up, and I can make sure that it's flowing downhill. You know, if it puddles in one spot, then I know that I need to dig it a little lower. But that's off subject a little bit. Everything that we've tried to do, the solar panels, the water, I know I spent a lot of time getting the well perfected so we could use it, but it's self-sustaining now. I got the inverter. I got a big enough inverter. I've showed you that, where I can run the well off the inverter now, especially on sunny days, almost unlimited. Now, I only need to run it for about 20 minutes a day or every other day. I've been trying to fill the 275-gallon IBC tank every day. I'm noticing that the well stays cleaner the more frequently I run it. So this morning I got up, it just rained really hard. I've been trying to get the well to stay clean with the groundwater. So I put a new well packer in it, a new well liner. I put a new concrete floor. Next week I'm going to buy the material to build a building around it. Coming into the battery area, I got a new 2,000 watt inverter. It's a very large inverter that I don't want to run all day long. I got my smaller inverter here, 1,000 watts. And the reason I do that is because inverters use electricity whether you got anything going through it or not. It just sucks up electricity. So the smaller the inverter you can use, the better. But since I need such a large one, I'll run that one just when I need to run the well. That being said, I've not been running it on the inverter. I have still been running on a generator. On the inverter, you know, you got to be careful that it's not too cloudy like it is right now. I can run it for about 3 minutes on the inverter, which gives me anywhere from 24 to 39 gallons, somewhere in between there, for 3 minutes. So I still could run it every day on the inverter, but I choose to run it on the generator. My point is if I were to run out of gas and I didn't have any more gas, I could still have water. Now, that being said, down the hill from us is a natural spring. So if I ever ran out of water, I could go down there and get water. So again, self-sustaining, trying to find a backup source of water. And I say this because, you know, I've been watching a lot of prepper channels here lately. I see them all just frightened of everything. They're just frightened. Every time I watch one of these prepper channels that are trying to frighten me, I think, I'm covered. So I hope I can inspire you to not be scared and be covered when you live your dream. Thanks for watching.